Here I come.
I sense something elusive.
Stay a while and listen well met.
You are not prepared.
This better be good.
Existence is mysterious.
Loud and clear. Hello there.
Greetings, traveler, and welcome to the Blue Recluse.
Welcome to episode 217 of the Blue Recluse. My name is Martin Larsen, and you're listening to the podcast about everything Blizzard. It's Sunday, February 3rd, 2019, and with me today, it's a hot mess. It's Tom. How you doing?
It's so kind of you to call me a hot mess. So kind of you to introduce me that way. Yeah, it's new. I like that, switching it up. 2019, we have to experiment with some new ideas and calling your co-host a hot mess. There we go.
But you're not the only hot mess. Michael is here as well.
That's right. I take it as a compliment because I would rather be a hot mess than an ugly mess. So that's what that means, right? Hot mess means you're cute, but you're still messy. So it's like, yeah. I don't know. Let's pretend let's pretend that exchange never happened, and let's just move on. Hello, I'm here. I'm ready to go.
It is the real show. We have to start recording, right?
Okay.
Yeah, Marty started stuttering, so it's the real show.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, at least we got the show title, Hot Mess. There we go.
Hot mess. There we go. Show title.
Brilliant.
Show title secured. How are you guys doing? Is it going well?
Yeah. Been busy this week. Actually playing a Blizzard game. What?
Oh, but before you actually talk about the subject of the podcast, let's get an update on your medical health. How's the foot?
The foot is doing well. I don't know if I mentioned it last time, but my foot was green the other day.
He's turning into an orc.
Yeah, I didn't know what it was. I got nervous because I'm not the type to just sit around and do nothing all day. So I like push it probably a little bit more than I should, where I'm like, let me put some pressure on and see if I feel it. Oh, yep, feel it. All right, let me put it back up. So my foot turned a little bit green, and when I went to the doctor, I was like, is that normal? And he's like, yeah, that's like the bruise inside breaking down.
Drink the foul blood. Don't drink.
Why did nobody tell me this warning beforehand?
Did your doctor say to you, it's not easy being green?
No, he missed the opportunity. But no, it's doing good. I did wash it, Amanda. Thank you for popping that out in the chat. Okay, I washed it every day. It was just the bruise on the inside breaking down. Like it goes through its colors or whatever. He's like, yep, that's just it breaking down. It's a good sign. It shows that it's going away. So everything's good. I got the boot on right now because I can't have it elevated while we're doing the podcast. So it's not a valid question, Amanda. Okay? She's over here asking me if I wash my foot and then saying it's a valid question. No, it's not. Just stop. Let's move on.
And how about you, Tom? Everything good in the Irish?
Oh yeah, it's raining. So there you go. That's all you really need to know. Everything as it should be.
Oh, good. Same in Denmark, I guess. It's raining.
How about you, Marty? How's everything going over there?
It's pretty good. As you can see, those on the video stream behind me, we're almost done unpacking.
Oh,
nice.
That's the last few bits. So yes, soon we'll start working on some stuff. Maybe, I don't know, a little decoration with some World of Warcraft stuff, maybe, or something else. Who knows?
I mean, come on, Marty, make an effort. Make an effort for the people that for the 3 people that tune in every week to watch us. They want to see not just your face, but they want to see like a Murloc behind you, or
I've had to zoom everything in since we don't have anything. I've zoomed everyone's face in so that they can't see the backgrounds.
So yes, everything is good. Everything is good over here. Let's jump in and talk a little bit about Blizzard. I guess that's why we're actually here. That is why we're here. Yeah.
Okay.
This is not Nerd This. It is the Blue Recluse. So
I mean, you talk about Blizzard for about 20 minutes on every episode of Nerd This anyway, so like, who would know?
You never know. Yeah, exactly. So there's something new in the store. in the Bliss store, in the World of Warcraft Bliss store, and it's Horgus, the Swine of Good Fortune, because of the what is it, the Chinese New Year? It's the year of the pig, right? So so obviously we're celebrating with a store mount, which have everybody rejoicing, arms in
Squealing,
the
Marty.
air.
Everyone's squealing.
Everyone is squealing. It's just happy days, right?
I wouldn't know. I don't keep up with it, to be honest. Like, I don't know. For me, I get the idea that people don't like the store and the idea of like buying mounts and pets and things like that. But for me, I'm one of those, hey, if you don't like it, just don't do it type people. So I have no problem with it. If Dusty wants to spend all the money he has in the Blizzard store, more power to him. I have no interest in a flying pig, even though I like the idea of when pigs fly. But I don't know. I have no opinion on it, to be honest.
So it's this conversation that we seem to always have when they add a new mount, and I don't know when was the last time they added 2 mounts on the I was about to say on the flying store, on the just the normal store. It's not flying at all. When was the last time they added like 2 mounts within the space of like 2 months, like 1 a month? And what was I gonna say? Yeah, it just seems to happen, and right now with everything so volatile, let's just say, any little opportunity for the pitchforks to come out, and obviously 2019, we are looking at things from a slightly different perspective, but this isn't a new thing, and they've released this with a promotion in China alongside a subscription, I believe, and then they've just released it to the rest of the world as a store mount. And Blizzard selling store mounts is not a new thing. Like, they've been doing this for years. It's been deemed mainly acceptable by the player base for all this time, and those who have never really agreed with it probably haven't bought a mount or pet from the store, and it's just one of those things that if we can create drama with it, it's gonna happen. And we've had this kind of discussion with Dusty, actually, and who's
Dusty was wrong.
On this,
As
and
usual.
he's not really playing much WoW, but he still buys the mounts, and he still says, like, if you want to spend your money on this, that's totally fine, and you can't really argue with that. I mean, if people find value in doing this, and if you don't, I mean, yeah, you can definitely say, look, I don't see the value in this. And to be honest, I really think it's a bad practice that people are supporting these mounts like every time and buying them in their droves, but it is what it is. People are buying them, people perceive value out of them. So if the majority of, well, not even the majority, but if a substantial amount of the player base deem this to be of value and it's making Blizzard money to do, then it's going to keep happening, unless we kind of did like a Hearthstone thing where Blizzard started putting character portraits out, and it seemed to go down like a lead balloon. But this has been practice for years, and I don't think it's something that's going away, even in this times of uncertainty and not knowing. It's still going to be there.
Yeah, I mean, from my point of view, I'm one of those guys who usually buy all the store mounts. I have, I would say, probably 90% of the store mounts. Even though now it's probably down to 88% because I did not buy this one because I'm not really playing World of Warcraft at the moment. So it has no value to me right now. But if I was playing and if I was happy with the game, then I would most likely have bought this mount as well. And maybe I'll do it later when it's on sale, or maybe I'll just look at it one day and be like, oh, that actually looks quite lush. I need a pig to ride on. So yeah, but I mean, I can also understand some of the arguments people are having at the moment, because there have been a little bit of an imbalance, especially if you're Alliance, when it comes to cool mounts being in the game for you to farm, where the Alliance mounts is not too interesting. It's horses and all the usual stuff. Where the Horde side have gotten some quite cool ones. And Blizzard have come out and commented on this. Like I think it was at BlizzCon or around that time, where they said that there is an imbalance right now, but some of the cooler mounts for the Alliance side is coming in upcoming patches. It was just when they planned it out, there might have been a little imbalance in there. So if you're looking from it from that point of view, then sure, I can understand why you're a little bit maybe annoyed that these cool mounts, really cool mounts, you have to pay real life money for it. But my personal opinion is it's not player power at all. So I don't really care too much. It's fine if you want to spend money on it if it gives value to you. It's then go buy it, go nuts. That's my opinion.
I just want to catch on something that Amanda's saying in the chat. She's saying, why does Final Fantasy 14, I'm guessing she's meaning obviously, celebrate Year of the Pig with an awesome event that gives you a ridiculous pig hat for free, but Warcraft is like, nah mates, you've got to pay $19 for a weird mount. And I gotta stick up for Warcraft here because they do have the Lunar Festival in game, and it's been a yearly event that happens. I think there you can acquire currency to potentially unlock a pet or two. Usually these events come with some sort of currency to do that. And I think is there a boss that you can do as well with the Lunar event? Actually, I don't think I've actually been in game in February for a very long time. It's one of those months that just seems to avoid me. I mean, you ask me anything about Halloween, like Hallow's End in Warcraft, I think I've always been subscribed for Hallow's End.
Like a
But
toothpick?
Toothpicks and mounts and candy corn. February is just like this weird. No, I don't know. February just seems to be this weird month. But then there's the Love Is in the Air will be happening as well, right? With the elusive.
It's
love
quite
rock.
funny that the two events that you remember most vividly is the two that actually gives mounts that people want.
That is weird, isn't it? How,
Well, I will also jump.
I think we can conclude. I think we can conclude that Lunar event doesn't have a mount attached to it.
I will also jump to the defense of World of Warcraft and say that for me personally, I'm more interested in a different mount than a hat. When it comes to transmog, I like to keep my sets going. Like, I'm not really big into like the ridiculous appearances in terms of like my character. I like them to have like a pretty good looking thing going on. Like right now I'm rocking the Dwarf Heritage armor. That's been one of my favorite armor sets. Like I like that look. And if I had to choose, first of all, a awesome event is subjective in its entirety. There are people who love the gnome run, but I have like no interest in the gnome run in World of Warcraft at all. I actually don't really get
it's
into
for charity, man. Come on.
just because something is for charity doesn't mean that I'm interested in it. Okay, I will buy something in the store to support charity or something like that.
A cold heart.
No,
Heart.
No, there's a difference. Okay, I'm just
But
saying.
it's what? But okay, the Gnome Run initially was like a community organized event that is now an in-game event, and I agree. I never really partook in that. But,
After you just tried to slam me, what?
yeah, but I'm like, I wouldn't be all like, I will never do that.
I
'cause
never said I would
think
never do it. I just said that it doesn't really interest me in something to do, per se. Like, hey, if you want to do it, go ahead. It's there. That's the reason why it's there, so that people who are interested in that can do it. And I like that it's there for those people. I'm just saying that when we compare two things, it's very important to remember that certain things are subjective. And
Oh yeah, I remember what my argument was. I'm on the EU side, and our community is not as good as America.
that's right. Just a bunch of mythic raiders that are too serious about the game.
Yeah, we're too busy. We're too busy trying to get more
Min-maxing
votes,
and
trying-
doing numbers and
instead of trying to raise awareness for great charities and causes. No wonder it's all going to hell over here in Europe, and America is so stable. There we go.
that's right. We are the pillar of stability.
Alessandro saying gotten more expensive. Is that true?
I don't know. I didn't play in Wrath when it was
I don't know.
initially released. That's when it came out, right? Store mounts. That's when the store was introduced. Was it Wrath?
I'm not sure.
I want to say that's when it was introduced. I might be wrong.
I feel like no. I feel like it couldn't have been Wrath because Wrath was the best expansion ever, and that doesn't seem like a thing they would have done in Wrath. That seems like a Cataclysm thing. You know, when the
Alessandro
world
says-
started going to hell.
Alessandro says BC with the Sparkle Pony. Burning Crusade.
Really? I don't.
I don't remember, to be honest. It's because I was happy for World of Warcraft back then, so I was
so
probably
it's-
just
So it
bought
wasn't a
everything
big thing. It
anyway.
was just like, okay, cool, more things to do.
Yeah,
Okay,
I
so
bought
I'm thinking
the
of-
Sparkle Pony, and everybody was like, "Why did you spend money on that?" And I'm like, "Hey, have you seen it? Have you seen the sparkles?
It's a
amazing."
pony that sparkles.
But wasn't there a time where there was still a store, but it wasn't in game, and then there was some sort of switch that happened to put all that stuff in game? I think we were
Yeah.
able to buy stuff outside of the game.
Yeah,
redeem in the game?
it was a store page.
Okay, so that could have been way back in the Burning Crusade then.
Yeah,
All right.
Wow,
so yeah,
that's a long time of store mounts then. Really,
it is.
it's just no argument. It's like this has been
Intense.
done for so many years, and people have supported that it's a basic practice now for Blizzard to continue doing that.
It's just because, people are upset right now. Things are not going good, and Blizzard seems like they want to cut costs, and all of a sudden you have store mounts, and people are just paying more attention to it now. So if they can stir a little hurricane, then they'll do that. A little storm in a glass of water. They'll do that at the moment. But Mike, you said you were doing you had the armor, the heritage armor for dwarves. How was that quest line? Because my dwarf is still only level 116, I believe. So I still have 4 more levels to go until I can actually check it out. Was it fun?
Yeah, it was pretty cool. Like, you go around and you gather the bits of the armor. You find out that nobody can really, like, the Forge and Iron Forge can't get hot enough to actually smelt the armor that you need. So you have to go get all these things done. You have to, like, you have to go to Ulduar in order to talk to the guy over there. He's they're trying to rebuild it. There's all these things
The
going
guy,
on.
speak to the guy.
Yeah, I'm sorry, I forget the names. To
Just
be
walk in.
honest.
It's like I need to speak to the guy.
He's the big guy
Listen, you be a
fighting the
dwarf.
other
I
big
need
guy.
to speak to the guy.
He's a big guy.
My guy.
But
the guy, the big
yeah.
Titan guy,
yeah,
Mr. Titan.
yeah. No, he's
MacGyver.
like a keeper or
MacGyver.
something. But anyway, you go through this big quest chain to, like, heat the forge up. Heat the forge up enough so that you can smelt the armor, and you get to, like, carry it over to the anvil, smash it down, present it, and then they're like, I would think of nobody better than you. And I'm like, yes, just me. And then I put it on and I realize other people other than me have it too, and my immersion is broken. No, but it's fun. It's fun. I liked it.
Cool. Yeah, that's something I still need to do. There's still so much to do in World of Warcraft.
Yeah, especially if you don't play often.
Yeah, exactly. Like me at the moment. All right, Tom, you already mentioned the Lunar New Year, and it's also coming to Hearthstone. Isn't that correct?
Yes. Oh, did we want to take our question while we're kind of in the realm of the subject? We could totally do that. We could do our
Oh.
ask.
I don't know what the question is, because we got a question, but it's not in the show notes.
Oh, it's totally there, Marty. I mean, I don't know what you're talking about. It's so there. I'm not stalling. Why would you even say that I'm stalling right now? Because clearly you're not looking hard enough in the show notes, because it's there. What are you even talking about, Marty? What are you even talking about? Clearly there from still. Is it on the screen, Michael? Or are we gonna go ahead?
I'll put it up right now. Let's do it.
All right.
So we got a question. Was it from Sil? Because the show notes doesn't say who it's from.
It's from
It was
Yeah,
Sil, right?
it's from
on
Sil.
Discord.
Monkeys.
Book
Monkeys on
Who is
Discord.
Sil? Who is
Sil.
Sil from Whispers of War?
Yeah, thank you for the question, Sil. Let's start with that. It's always good to have questions, especially like 2 minutes before airtime when Tom was not prepared, so he needed to actually work to be on the show today. So
Hey, when
let's
Illidan
jump
was
into it.
saying that thing, it was about me. It was about me.
no, but seriously, thank you so much for the question. And it is with the controversy for the new Piggy Mount in WoW. what mount would you be willing to pay 19 pounds for, or whatever your currency is, if you could design it yourself?
Marty, that's about 2 Danish beers.
Yeah, it is.
Such a ripoff. It makes Warcraft mounts look so cheap when you compare it to Danish beer.
So any takers, any mounts that you would like and you would actually pay good money for?
Yes.
I'm gonna say. Go ahead, Michael. Go ahead.
Okay. I don't know if you guys ever watched it, or know about it, but there was that show Yu-Gi-Oh when I was growing up, and I always liked the Blue Eyes White Dragon. I would like a version of that, but it must have 3 heads instead of just the one, almost like a Hydra type deal. And I would like to fly around that, and occasionally it just spews like this ice breath coming out, kind of like Syndragosa. I think that would be pretty cool. I'd pay for that. But then again, I paid for the giant bat in the store. Like, that's the one mount that I bought in the store, was a giant bat. I like that one, so I'd like something like that.
How about you, Tom? Would you pay money for the chopper?
Well, I'm gonna say let's reuse some assets in the game, and let's turn that Jaina ship that she rolled up into the Battle for Undercity Part 2, 2018. Let's get that.
Like in that size, right? That big size.
It has cannons that you can actually shoot the opposite faction. It's also a 40-man mount that you can just pick up your entire guild and go wherever you want. And from time to time, Jaina actually appears on the ship, on the hull, and she fires out a couple of frost bolts as well. And yeah, just fun for all your guildies. You can just pick up people. You can totally crash the Zeppelin service and put it out of business and just run your own business there and just undercut the Zeppelins, undercut them, make your money back within a week, and everyone's having a great time. That's what I would expect for 2 Danish beers or 19 pounds.
I would definitely pay for someone to grind the already existing mounts in game, because the Baron mount, I've been trying to get that mount since vanilla and still don't have it.
You don't have the Baron Rivendare's mount?
Nope, I do not have it.
Worthy, sir. You have to be worthy to get that mount.
Or for instance, the Arthur's mount from ICC. Those 2 mounts, I would love to just pay to get them.
But seriously, Baron Rivendare has a Twitter account, and when I did get that mount 10 years ago, and it was near my birthday, I tweeted it out, and he said to me, "You are now worthy." So it's not really luck. It's just whether you are deemed you can handle that mount,
You're
especially
not
on an
playing the game,
alliance
so you're not
character.
worthy.
Having access to an undead horse on the alliance side, it's not just a matter of I've killed the boss. Now there's a percentage chance that this is going to drop. There's a lot of spiritual factors and mental strength that comes into this as well. Hey, if you're not a believer, you're never going to get that mount. So, hey, good luck.
Getting a bit preachy here.
Hey, we got to fill up some time, right?
All right. Tom, it's Lunar New Year in Hearthstone as well, isn't that correct?
Oh, so what was your idea for a mount? Just, you're not even going to make one up. You're just going to say, I wish I could pay 19 pounds for someone to farm. That's a terrible idea. You're
just pay for them straight up. I don't know.
Oh, that's disgusting. I'm not even going to think of an idea, but I wish I could just pay 19 pounds for the mounts that are already in game. You're giving them terrible ideas. Oh, that would be awful. Imagine we were sitting here and they unleashed the new epic Blizzard store. Buy any mount in game. Don't waste time farming them. Just spend money.
Oh man, that would cause.
That's rough.
It'd be like, why is that Encourage mount that I can only ride the bug in Silithus or whatever $15?
Yes. Oh, you gotta pay for the special edition Encourage bug mount.
And you don't even get all the colors. You have to pay for each one individually.
disgusting.
But what's the
This
one
is
where you can
probably-
ride anywhere, like the black one or something like that? You have to pay
yeah, that's
extra
for
for. That one's
Scarab
more
Lords, then.
expensive.
I mean, that's for Scarab Lords. That's for the Gong Dingers. And
So, if that ever happens, if all those mounts ever come into the store, that's when we quit this podcast.
we know how to can blame.
That's when you know it's time to hang up the hat and just call it a day.
I mean, when someone in the player base is suggesting things like that, you've got to wonder, like, what is going through their head.
Need those on garage.
But yeah, thanks, Phil.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and 3 is a charm. It's Lunar Festival and New Year, Lunar New Year, whatever, in Hearthstone, right? Right, Tom?
Sure is, Marty. Sure is. And you won't find any pig mounts there. What you will find. And here's a slice of good news for you. A pizza card back.
It looks amazing.
A pizza card back for this month if you get 5 wins in ranked play. And
I actually considered playing Hearthstone just because of that.
the power of cosmetics, the power of pizza. I mean, even saying the words Hearthstone pizza, people are interested, right? People are like, ooh.
I was interested until I saw it.
Oh, you were probably looking for like a slice of pepperoni on it or something. So the pizza is, from what it appears, it's vegetarian pizza because there is no meat substances on this. So I can understand, Michael.
Just like the game.
Wow.
Wow.
We'll be having words with you off air. So yeah, the pizza card back mount. No, it's not a mount. But imagine if it was. The pizza card back is coming along with the Lunar New Year celebration as well in Hearthstone. And if you log in on the 5th of February, you'll also get a golden fireworks tech card, which is from, I think, Boomsday expansion. So you just get that card. They like to give away cards sometimes just on specific days that have a bit of meaning. So you'll get that, and they're going to be starting the celebration with quests that also reward dust from the 5th Feb as well.
Okay, that's cool. That's cool.
Yeah,
It seems
And-
like the good old toilet game is back.
well, it gets back.
It never left.
Michael, if you're not looking to spend money on a pig mount, maybe you would consider, for less of a cost, I do believe, you can buy the Lunar New Year bundle, which is 10 cards from Witchwood, Boomsday, and
Oh,
Rastakhan.
don't do this to me. You know how Dusty has a problem buying everything in the World of Warcraft sphere? Like, well, the Blizzard sphere. Like, Dusty just throws money out. Like, for some reason, when it comes to Hearthstone and those packs where, like, hey, pay $20 and you get 10 from this,
Yeah.
10 from that, 10 from this, 10 from that. Even if I'm not playing the game, I go and I buy it just on the offshoot that I might play the game. And I'm just like, I need to have those because I might get something that I need to craft a deck. And I hate it because when it comes to me with card games, I'm pretty spotty. Like, I don't play them consistently enough anymore. And it seems like Hearthstone always does it where they have like a really good deal. And I'm like, I kind of have to do that just on the offshoot that I might play. And I can't say that I missed a deal. Because then people be like, oh, you should have done that. You might have gotten it.
I think it's really awesome that your better half, Michael, has just come into Twitch chats while you're talking about your spending habits. So we could potentially uncover a huge spend again, like we once did with regards to Pokemon Go.
Hey, why you gotta open up old wounds? We're not talking about that. That's not what this podcast
That
is
wound is
for.
too good.
That's not what this
That wound
podcast is about, okay?
Hey, we like to repurpose old content.
Copy and paste old content.
Yeah, copy and paste.
But no, that's a good deal. I mean, it usually is. Like, Hearthstone has, like, just enough to kind of get you interested, and then you play for a week, and then you're like, man, I just spent $40.
I've been back into Hearthstone actually the past 2 weeks. I've been really enjoying it because I've only been playing one deck, and it's a Spell Hunter deck, and it has the Deathstalker Rexar, which was an awesome card in the Knights of the Frozen Throne, and it also contains the Hunter legendary weapon as well. which fills your hand up with spells, and it also contains Zul'jin from Rastakhan, which is recast any hunter spell you you play during the game. So it contains like 3 awesome epic cards, no minions, pure spells. It's pretty broken, I feel like, but it's a lot of fun, and I've been trying to just re-roll my quests every day so I can just play that one deck and I can complete my quests, and I've been having a lot of joy with that, and I'm getting the kind of feel goods with Hearthstone again, which is weird because I'm also taking note of Magic the Gathering Arena right now, and I've started playing some physical Magic. I bought a starter deck for me and my girlfriend Amanda as well, and we actually played physical Magic for the first time as well. And I felt like because of my experience with Hearthstone, I was able to pick that up fairly quickly as well. I did get my ass kicked 3 times, but let's not talk about that.
How many times?
3 times. 3 times. Okay. I got whooped. I got whooped. But I just like playing card games, and I don't know, I think if I have a more serious card game in my life, which could be Magic, I can look at Hearthstone a bit more goofily, which I think it's supposed to be, and just be like, yeah, you know, it's a bit of a hot mess sometimes as well with regards to how it works, and sometimes things don't feel good. But the thing with Hearthstone is when it does feel good, it feels really good, and the flavor in that game, and just the, you know, the sounds of cards, and the goofy
Hello.
I
goofy
wasn't
little,
expecting
like,
that. I got scared.
text
I was like,
on
oh,
the
I was
cards as
reading
well.
chat, and I just
It's just, yeah, I don't know, I think because I kind of cut my playtime down with Hearthstone, that now I'm playing it again, I still have a soft spot for it, and I just wish Ben Brode was still here, and he was...
Hey there, don't be scared.
I miss Ben
Marty is
so
on
much.
point tonight with the
He is.
with the sounders.
It's like I'm
good
not even
job,
trying
good
to
job.
hit these.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's wrecking the show tonight with his. Well, not wrecking, just making the show really authentic. But,
Creepy. I like it.
yeah. There we go. There's my little
There
love
we
affair with Hearthstone back. You know, to say that the Blue Recluse came back in 2019 and we're just being big old bad Blizzard haters. We're not. We still love. We can still love. Sometimes you need to give to receive, but in this case, it's good. We got Pizza Card back.
Who doesn't like pizza?
I mean, that could be a great podcast episode, Marty.
Just title it. Who doesn't love
like
pizza?
Who doesn't like pizza? You know what? When I was 15, in my head, I didn't think I just was like, ew, tomato and cheese all mushed up on a bread-like substance. And in my head, that sounded like something I wouldn't want to eat. And I didn't eat pizza until I was 16.
Oh
And then
my
I found out I loved
god!
it.
So
There you go.
you should subtract 16 years from your life right now, and that's your actual
I
age
should.
because you didn't live until you were 16.
And you know what's weird? Like, I don't know if it's just an English thing, but like growing up, takeaway like pizza was never a thing in our house, and I just wonder if it's just like an English thing in the like 80s and 90s, that ordering takeaway pizza was just not a thing. I can't even remember there being a pizzeria in the like village that I like grew up in. I say I lived in a village. It was like a town, but it was a village.
No,
There you
but
go.
I
It's
mean,
like we're going back in time.
I think if you're not living in a big city, it was the same for us, because I do remember that when we got like our first pizza place in our town. That was like a big thing, and was an actual Italian guy who created it. But it was something that we rarely did. It was more. I think we went to the pizza place. I used to be a gymnast, so it was usually after like competitions and stuff like that. When it was over, we were like, let's have a pizza on the way home, and buy a pizza on the way home, and then eat it at home, and things like that. It was never like a normal thing. You're just like, hey, I don't feel like cooking tonight, let's order some takeaway or whatever. So
And
I
I'm
don't
the
know.
complete opposite. I grew up in Chicago, Illinois, which is
I was
known
just
for
gonna
their
say,
pizza.
Michael's eaten enough pizzas before we first ate pizza to, you know, just nullify that.
Yeah, I'm from a
Yeah.
place that is known for pizza. And it's actually tainted my view of pizza overall. Like, I've had, like, the traditional, like, basic Italian pizzas, and I'm just like, what is this? Like, I get that this is, like, what it started as, but this is not what it is now. Get this out of my way. Why are there leaves on my freaking pizza? I didn't ask to eat a tree. No offense to those. I know Amanda in the chat. She's a vegan, and she likes all that stuff.
Likes
so-
trees. Oh,
Yeah, she loves trees, actually. More power to you all that like all that stuff, but I can't do it. My pizza needs to be slightly greasy. It needs to have some meat on it. Extra cheese is always a plus, and some sauce. Yes. Blizzard
You're
podcast.
listening to the food.
welcome to the podcast called "Who Doesn't Like Pizza."
I mean, it was a segue. It was a segue from the pizza car back, and I feel like there's going to be many shows across the Blizzard podcasting this week that are just going to be reminiscing about the first time they ate pizza. I mean, listeners, share us your first memories of pizza as well as we enter this glorious time in Hearthstone where we will be able to have a pizza on the back of our cards.
Yes.
Let's try something new. Let's try something completely new we've never done before. It has nothing to do with pizza. Over the years, we've made a lot of jokes about StarCraft being a dead game and stuff like that, and we've been giggling about our own silly jokes and stuff like that. But actually, a lot of things actually happens in StarCraft every week. Not necessarily when it comes to the game itself, like news for the game, but there's a lot of community-driven things going on. There's a lot of competitions. There's a lot of everything. So with a little help from our good friend and listener of the show, Alisander, we have a small little thing. So let's listen to it and maybe add a few words to it afterwards.
This better be good.
This week in StarCraft, the DeepMind StarCraft 2 demonstration took place on DeepMind's YouTube channel on January 24th with a Reddit AMA over the weekend. First announced in 2016 at BlizzCon, DeepMind has previously defeated the games Chess and Go. TLO, a top Zerg player who is known for creative strategies, and Mana, a professional Protoss player, both played 5 games against DeepMind with a significant number of losses. But afterwards learned that DeepMind is actually 5 or more versions of itself called AlphaStar that play against each other in a league format, each with a different program strategy called imitation learning, which is based on human games, learning at a rate of 200 years for every human week. The players expected DeepMind to play similar to a human with a favorite strategy or unit, and as a result, the human players frequently lost due to expectations based on previous games or by the AI not reacting as a human player does. At this time, DeepMind can only play Protoss, and the match took place on the previous patch. However, the demonstration ended with a live show match with Mana. All 11 matches are available to watch on www.deepmind.com or the DeepMind YouTube channel. Elsewhere in StarCraft, Su defeated Parting in the Chinese Masters Coliseum 4 tournament. Probot's 2019 Season 1, which is a StarCraft AI tournament, has begun at twitch.tv ESChamp. The bombastic Star League 6 Nation Wars is underway. This is a StarCraft Brood War tournament in a Nation Wars format, with Peru, Russia, Poland, and Chile advancing for the latter stages. Only players living outside of South Korea can participate in the BSL. The new comic book, StarCraft Soldiers #1, has come out from Dark Horse Comics. IEM Katowice 2019 Season 13 group stages will begin on February 28th to March 1st. Patience, Innovation, and Maru have qualified from North America. Special, Neve, and Euthermal from the EU. Dark, Bunny, Zest, TY, and Rogue have qualified from Korea, with Cyril automatically qualifying. WCS Winter will be starting on January 31st, and the brackets have been posted. The 2019 GSL Season 1 qualifiers will begin January 23rd and 24th. Africa TV has announced that GSL 2019 will operate much like in 2018, with 3 CODES tournaments, 2 Super Tournaments, and GSL vs. the World. Africa TV StarCraft League Season 7 group stages, Group E and F, will play out on January 27th and 29th. So far, Larva, Orang 2, Snow, Piano, Best, Sakrisi, Mind, and Modesty have qualified. The latest balance update patch came on January 22nd this week, and WCS 2019 begins Thursday. You can download the Blizzard Esports app and get reminders for all your favorite events. And this is your week in StarCraft.
Outstanding.
So there we go. Lots of stuff going on in the StarCraft universe. So Tom, how do you feel about that? Aren't you surprised?
It's like we've been ignorant to the fact that stuff happens in StarCraft, and there's so much of it that we choose to be like, no, there's nothing, and we don't need to talk about it. But there is, StarCraft is a big name, and we have obviously our little jokes, and I think it almost is a little joke within like Blizzard podcasts that there's never anyone talking about StarCraft, which is strange because it's for me it's like one of those, like the three originals as well, like Warcraft, Diablo, StarCraft, they were the big ones, and it feels like now that it's out of the kind of spotlight with the likes of Overwatch taking its place in a way, that it's easy to kind of be like out of sight, out of mind. But really appreciate Alessander wrapping up the week and just giving it to us in like a digestible format there, and just letting us know what's exactly going on. And the AI stuff is super interesting. I know we touched on it last week. I think did we actually talk about Star Wars?
We did talk about it.
Yeah, it's like I feel like it happened. It did.
It did
Oh
happen.
yeah, because we were gonna replace me with AI. Yeah.
And that's what we did.
That's
And it's
a great
still
idea.
glitching. It's still glitching a little bit.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean that stuff with the AI, that's going to be huge with advancements going on there. And yeah, for what we joke, I mean, who doesn't like a bit of Tychus and a bit of Jimmy and a bit of Sarah Carrigan? I want to see StarCraft back, but not in an RTS sense. And I feel like if I get that, I would be like, StarCraft for me would probably take over everything, I would say, because I don't know, I just have this issue with RTSs and I can't seem to shake it. I can't seem to get past the fact that something is an RTS, and I just have issues playing them, and that's kind of frustrating because I feel like I'm missing out on so much, and I'm not good enough for RTS. I need a mentor. I need Michael.
You don't want
will
me
you
as a
teach
mentor.
me the ways of clicking stuff fast.
I don't play enough to be able to teach anybody anything.
I was
Well,
hoping for
I
a
think-
sensei Michael.
You just need to teach him how to get through the story. That's all you need to do.
The game does that. It's called the tutorial.
If you could teach me how to even launch that game, that would be great.
Gotta click the big blue install button first.
How about you, Michael? I know that you've been at least used to. I guess you still do follow the esports league a little bit when it comes to StarCraft, right?
Yeah, I occasionally follow it. I kind of slowed down after Heroes of the Storm started taking off, like the esports there, because I started paying more attention to that. I started getting more interested in it. One of the problems is that there's so much StarCraft esports content, like outside of even just the main big one, that it can be tough to wrap your head around everything that's going on. You got like the Korean leagues going on, you got the NA leagues, you got the EU, and then you have different sites that are doing things. You got things on Twitch, you got things on Africa TV. So there's all these different things going on that I kind of got overwhelmed at a certain point where I was just like, okay, I don't really know which ones to keep up with. If I tune in, I got nothing bad to say about it. It's still StarCraft. The casters are usually pretty good. I enjoy it. It's still one of the most fun esports to watch, and still one of the most demanding games to play competitively. It's really difficult. It's just, do I have the time? And right now I haven't really had the time because I don't like always having something on my second monitor when I'm playing a game. Sometimes I like to be immersed in the game. So I have to pick and choose my times. I'm getting older, and right now that's not just high on my list. There's nothing against it or anything like that, but once WCS starts picking up again, of course, I'm going to jump back on that and check it out. But right now, just taking a backseat.
Yeah, and I feel like, because I really enjoy watching StarCraft as well, but I think for me sometimes it's just a little bit overwhelming because there's so many different, tournaments and things going on all the time, and where do you figure out where to see them and things like that. So I have to admit that it's not too often that I do watch it, but But I am subscribed to a few channels here and there, so I do see some StarCraft from now and then. So yeah, I really enjoy watching StarCraft. It's just it's just overwhelming sometimes. I feel like because there's a lot of stuff going on for StarCraft, and but yeah, it's just hard to keep up with everything, I guess. And also I think I really love the StarCraft universe, but it's also just a universe that I haven't deep dive too much into. I know there's a lot of books, and I have the the compendium with four stories in it, and I've never read it. I have the book, but I never read through the stories, and it's something that I should definitely do. I think get into a little bit more, and just hearing here as well that there's a new comic coming out. I guess that could maybe be a good place to start. Just jump in and see what the universe is all about.
Yeah, the war chest in game too. It usually comes with some little comic stuff as well. So, or at least I remember it did. I don't know about the current one, but definitely check those out if you play the game.
And just the music. I love the music for that game. And just listening to that song right now while we were listening to the news, I was like, oh man, I need to jump back into StarCraft and play a little bit.
Hey, I've told you guys, if you ever want to play, like, just hit me up, and usually I'll be like, oh, okay, yeah, let's do it. Let's do it.
Maybe what is it? Can you play 3 in the co-op modes? Is that something where you can play 3-player? Maybe
I don't know. We'll have to look.
we'll pop Tom's virginity next week.
Whoa. I mean, that's already gone, Marty. But you know, they say the first time is not memorable. And I realize I'm digging a hole here, but let's just say whoa, Siri.
Hi there.
Hey Siri. I got my phone all excited, but yeah, I know I'm talking about the commander mode. Me and Marty jumped into it about a year and a half ago, and it was a fucking disaster. I couldn't even remember what those little SCV, SU, whatever the hell they're called.
SCV.
Yeah, even getting those guys to go get stuff to make the stuff, I couldn't remember anything. I couldn't remember how the basics of StarCraft work. There was a time when StarCraft 2 first came out that I played it a lot with Marty, and we actually played a bit of multiplayer, and you know, I thought I was all right in between like me and Marty. Like I was competitive between me and Marty, but just feel like I have to state that
the AI is repeating itself right now.
Yeah, me and Marty. But oh my goodness, see that game, going back to that game when you haven't touched it for years, bad times, real bad times, and you just feel completely alone in the dark. No one's gonna help you. How do I even make a man come out of the house to build an army to go kill a thing? You know, that's basically what happened in my head. And
the best bet is to create a custom game, put the AI in the easiest possible thing, and just focus on one thing per game. Do like 3 games, one where you're just focusing on building things, another where you're focusing on getting an army, and then a third one where you're putting both together and trying to get the win. The game's fairly easy on the easiest difficulty.
It's as easy as playing Hearthstone, Tom.
Yeah, you just come on, just drag it, right? Click and drag. That's what you do in StarCraft. You click, you drag the box, and then boom.
No, I go to the cash shop first, and then I
buy the voiceovers.
Anyway, personally, I'm looking forward to see what's to actually figure out and hear about what's going on in the world of StarCraft over the next many months. So thank you so much, Aldisane, for these sound clips.
Thank you.
We'll do our best to keep up with StarCraft going forward. But let's jump into the last topic of the day, which is the big race to world first.
Oh yeah!
In World of Warcraft.
Do we have a sounder for that? Do we have a?
No.
Tom.
The big.
I don't think so.
The big epic race to world first.
All What a finish!
That's the best.
What
that's
a
the best I have. But yeah, I have to admit that I completely, because I haven't really been in the loop, so I forgot about the race to world first. And then during the week, I realized, hey, the race is on. Let's check in with Method. Let's check in with the stream. And sure enough, they're doing a big stream again. They have upped it up a little bit compared to last time. A little bit more. It seems like they're better prepared because I think it took them by surprise last time how interested people would be. And I like it. I think it's pretty good. I think they turned it into something that's pretty interesting and watchable. One thing that I'm missing a little bit though is like last time, they didn't really knew what they were doing, and I sort of felt like that whole thing had a little bit of a charm in itself. That they were taking a lot of questions from the chat and things like that, and it seems like they haven't been doing that as much this time. So I'm feeling like. For me personally, that they went from one side to all the way over to the other side, and I think next time they might have to pull that a little bit back and find a middle ground between that. I feel like that's my personal opinion. Tom, you raised your hand. Anything you wanted to say?
I have a question. Where is the Alliance Guilds? Because I'm looking at the top 20, and there's one Alliance Guild at 10, position 10.
That's how it always
PG
is.
on EU Raven. Is it though?
I think so.
Like
I think
Horde.
most of the time
Nope.
it's Horde.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's how it is. If you want to raid on top level, then you're Horde, and that's because of the ratios apparently.
I don't know. I feel like when I looked at WoW Progress in previous raids, there was a bit more of a alliance representation. Like this just seems like
Blizzard
this
Horde
is-
biased. I mean, come on.
Yeah, Blizzard Horde.
Just dumping horses on the Alliance, getting cool miles
Yeah, I
for
mean,
the
if you go
Horde,
to-
getting raid first,
If you look at the top 40, yeah, there's 5 Alliance guilds in the top 40, which is pretty insane.
Yeah.
Pretty insane.
How about you, Michael? Have you watched any of it?
Yes, actually, I've watched quite a bit of it. During my free time at work, I kind of turn it on and just kind of peek in. And I will address one thing that you said about, like, it doesn't seem like they're interacting with the chat so much this time. And I have to disagree. I think it depends on who you catch commentating, because this time they have different people commentating, just like they did last time. But especially, like, somebody like Preach Gaming has a YouTube channel. I've mentioned it plenty of times on here. But he's commenting, I think, right now, unless he's signed off since we started the podcast. But him and I forgot the other guy that's on there. I think he does like a YouTube podcast type deal with a bunch of World of Warcraft people, and he talks about high level, I think, PvP and PvE stuff. But they're together and they're balancing it really well, of like talking with the chat and responding to things that are going on in chat. Preach said that he finds the little creepy smiley face that people put, like just a basic smiley face emote in chat. He finds it really creepy and off-putting, and everyone just starts spamming it in chat, and they're having banter back and forth. But one thing, they had Nobble commenting at some point. I think they had him commenting. They had one of his videos on at one point. I was like, what the heck what did I tune into? I thought I was going to watch the Race the World first, but I'm over here watching a Nobble lore video. And they have Preach commenting right now, and I have to say, like, I absolutely love his commentary, because he is telling you everything that is going on inside the raid. And it's just like, it's almost like watching PvP WoW, where you're like, I don't understand everything that's going on screen, but the casters are doing their best to make it happen. Like, casting World of Warcraft is what kind of keeps you interested for the most part, because there's a lot of times where you don't know what's going on. And they're doing an amazing job. Right now, there are like 14 guilds or something, or 18 guilds or something like that are actually at 8 of 9. But obviously, all eyes are on Method and Limit. And I do want to say that it is a little bit sad the way that Blizzard releases the raid, because I think like the NA gets it first, and they have like a few hours or like almost a full day to like start on it versus the EU, and it just kind of hurts a little bit, because I know that if Limit gets the kill, while it's going to be accepted that they got the kill first, there's always going to be that stigma of like DNA only got it because they got their hands on the raid first, and it just kind of sucks that like that goes into it. So I kind of wish that part would change. But Marty, please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think the numbers were a little bit bigger the first time around. I might be wrong.
I think the numbers might have been larger last time, but I also think it's probably just the nature of the game right now, right? That the interest in World of Warcraft is a little bit lower now than it was during the first raid. I mean, there's a lot of people who want breaks or whatever right now and who's not enjoying the game. So maybe why would you keep up with this kind of news as well?
That being said,
that's what I think it is.
That being said, World of Warcraft right now on Twitch has 138,000 viewers overall. About almost 60K of that is on the Method stream. And then you have Sko with another 22, almost 23K. And you have one more, Gingy, at about 7.5K. So, I mean, overall, those are still pretty big numbers if you think about it. Like, World of Warcraft is hitting over 130,000 viewers right now. And more than half of that is a raid. That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not saying that it's bad numbers. I just think that you know.
Oh yeah, I agree. It's definitely a little bit smaller.
Yeah. And Gingy, he's Danish.
Oh.
Didn't know. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
So he's the same hairdresser as you, Marty?
He doesn't have the same hairdressers, not to my knowledge at least.
That dude is big, man. Like they were like showing some. He's jagged. Like I always thought, like I'm like, man, Sko's pretty built, and then I see him, and I'm like, dang, Sko, you skipping some days, huh? Playing too much World of Warcraft?
And no, the thing is that I can also hear it on his Danish accent that when you are Dane, you absolutely you hate that Danish accent, English. I mean, I can understand why why Danish people don't want to listen to this show, maybe because of my Danish accent. I absolutely don't like.
Marty, don't worry. It's not just Danish people.
No, it's not just them.
Show. Yeah.
Good to know.
Michael raised an interesting point about the US getting the access to the raid first, which obviously gives them a slight advantage. And there's only 4 US guilds in the top 20, which is an interesting spin on that as well. Obviously, right now the top spot is held by Limit. I guess they got to 8 out of 9 first before Method, and yeah, just interesting to see that while the US does have an advantage, when you look at the top 20, it's like that doesn't really seem to have that impact. But I think if this whole race to world first, like it's always been a thing, and only now with kind of Method and I know there was some guild and career as well that we're trying to make this more of an event for people to view, that I do feel like it would need to start at the same time, but then you're gonna have time zones. But I feel like Blizzard could potentially take that under their wing, but then maybe it's a total logistic nightmare with having the EU and having a worldwide release of a patch. I mean, they did it with an expansion, but obviously there's less content in the expansion than a patch, so it was easier to do.
Telling you, fly both guilds to one spot, have them like how Method has it right now, and just be like, hey, we're gonna be here until one of you guys get it. We're gonna go off of one of these schedules, either NA or EU. Be like, we're all in the same place, we all start at the same time, and boom, we go.
I think they're gonna have to pay for their own flights though, Michael, because we gotta cut costs right now. We gotta cut costs. We can't be flying guilds out to international waters to partake in
the party boat,
But
the Blizzard yacht. Come on.
But also, if you can also turn it around and say that, yeah, sure, the Americans get it before, but if you look at like the last race, then Blizzard decided to make some changes that when Limit jumped in after the reset, they thought they had figured out how they wanted to do it, but because of some changes that Blizzard made, then they still couldn't take down the last boss. And when Method woke up and started raiding, all these changes were already implemented, and so people knew about it by then. So Method could take the win that way, and it's the same with bugs. There might be bugs in some of the encounters that the Americans will try out first, and then
Yeah, you're welcome.
They said we'll hot fix it later, and and
Like I'm a part of it. You're welcome.
So I mean, it sort of goes both ways, but I definitely do think that I would love for it to be, an equal playing field, because right now everyone is stuck at the last boss. If they don't manage to kill it, I mean, they still have a little over a day. But if they don't manage to kill it before the reset, there's like a really, really high probability that Limit will, get the world first kill, because they have the reset before Method. So. So yeah, it would be nice if it was at the same time. But what's interesting right now, at least before we started recording, like an hour ago, was that the two guilds, Limit and Method, were actually using different tactics. They were doing different things. So that's actually going to be quite interesting to see what actually pays off, if any of it actually pays off. So.
Actually, yeah, when I brought up about the Alliance and the Horde thing earlier, I think in my head it was because this raid was a bit different, and I don't know if the Alliance have the same like route to the final boss with regards to which bosses they fight. It's totally different, is it?
Aren't they just kind of interchangeable bosses? Like, it's the same idea on both sides.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's just like a different skins, but the fights themselves, the encounters themselves are the same-ish. But I'm not 100% completely sure, because I haven't really followed the news too closely. So I'm not really sure if one of them is easier than the other or whatever, or how they did it. So
I think it's like the back half of the raid, like the last 4 bosses or so are the same for both sides, but then the first are, it's something weird where like the Alliance first 3 bosses are opposite of the first 3 bosses for the Alliance are kind of like the last 3 before the big ones for the Horde, or something along those lines.
Maybe.
Who knows? I don't. Who knows?
Anyway, it's still going to be interesting to see. Within the next few days, we'll have a winner, and so let's just end up quickly. Do any of you want to place a bet? Who do you guys think wins? EU or US?
I think Method's gonna take it again. Method. I'm gonna go with Method.
I would laugh so hard if PG, the only Alliance guild in the top 20, win it. I'm hoping they do it, and we can just go, ha, you guys with your Horde advantage. Yeah, thought you all had this covered, but we just came in with our rep bonuses and our every man for himself.
Our rep bonus.
And we just took world first. We don't even need ratios because we're that good. Suck it. That's going to be the official statement when
didn't even use add-ons. Stock UI.
I actually think Limit will do it this time. They were really close last time, and they have said that they're going all in this time around, and this is their time. So I actually do think I actually do
Sorry,
think that
my window's open.
I think it will be down to if Limit can get it down before the reset. If they can't, then Limit will go with it 100%. I think so.
All right.
Yeah. So, with that being said, I think it's time for us to head over to the bar, close it down, and get the hell out of here.
Last orders! Last orders!
Oh, that's it. I need to scroll down here. Thank
I
you
was
so
wondering
much
what you
for
were
listening.
doing there. Got me worried.
I was scrolling.
Like, we're still live, right?
Oh shit. Anyway, thank you so much for listening. A quick nerd this shout out where on if you haven't listened to the newest episode yet, then Tom, Michael, Ryan, and I are talking about our expectations for 2019 in the part 2 of our expectations. What we're looking forward to when it comes to games, movies, TV series, all that nerdy stuff. So remember to check that one out. Stay around because after the show we have the Freshly Report. Let us know your thoughts about anything we've talked about on this episode, or if you have your own questions, feel free to contact us. Tom, how do people do that?
They can email the show at the bluereclusepodcast@gmail.com, and they can find us on Facebook and Twitter and YouTube at the Blue Recluse. And why not come over and join the Dragon Powered Studio community at the bluerecluse.eu/Discord. There's a lot of chatter about Blizzard games and also non-Blizzard games, and also there's free games. And if you play Final Fantasy 14, you're gonna love it because there's so much stuff about that right now, and it's just a great place to geek out and talk geeky stuff. And you can support this show over at patreon.com/the Blue Recluse, and you can find all that information and more, including our show notes for this episode, over at thebluerecluse.eu or thebluerecluse.com, because for some reason we have 2 URLs for our website. That is just crazy.
That because we're inclusive. We include everyone.
Everyone. We are all the same.
Even gnomes.
Welcome to the Fraz Report, a short broadcast by me, the Awesome Gnome, about the World of Warcraft. So we've got a bunch of news coming up today. The battle for Dazar'alor opened last week. This gnome is hoping to jump into Elfar soon. The reports are that boss fights are good, except there are some complaints that the Megatork boss was short. We mean short in height, not short in fight length. Icy Veins point out that the guild limit faction transfer to Alliance for the eye level 400 gear. I guess they are pushing the limit on what we can expect from raid teams. It sounds like they will be transferring back to Horde soon, though they were told that the transfer won't bring back any shoulder pad items acquired, because Orgrimmar Customs won't allow shoulder pads out of respect for the true war chief, Sourfang. I know, this is an old meme, but I had to bring it up again. Blizzard has been making news in the cash shop front. Wowhead reports that the WoW esports prize pools will be funded by toys in the cash shop. This has come up against some not unforeseen opposition by people in light of a lot of the news recently about Activision Blizzard. We talked with the source, and some of the toys coming out will be foam hands with the team logos on them, vuvuzelas, in-game jersey tappers, and even beer caps for use during raids. There's also a leaked pig mount coming in WoW China that was found, thanks to Wowhead for mining this information. This may hopefully be making it to the US and EU regions soon. I can't wait to ride a flying pig. It has wings on it. Oh, someone must have given it Red Bull. Wow, it just sank in on what this means. A flying pig. Can you imagine that? Gnomes and cutscenes. Gnomes has a raid boss. Gnomes getting a
Mega Dungeon.
What's next? Apparently, Sylvanas is looking forward to Worgen players flying into Darkshore on the flying pigs. She's planning some bonfires in the area, as she's been craving some bacon hot dogs. Along with the flying pigs, there will be flying t-shirts. Icy Veins has a look at the new micro holidays in 8.1.5, where NPCs will come to Stormwind and Orgrimmar and shoot t-shirts into the ravenous crowds. These will be permanent rewards too, as Icy Veins points out that it'll be the first micro holiday to offer this. My friend Matt said that it would be funny to add it to XR and Silvermoon, because then people will rush there to have a chance at acquiring the t-shirts. Thankfully, this gnome is short, so I can duck between human and Draenei legs to snag a t-shirt. Back on Wildhead, they found that The Witcher 3's creative director, Sebastian Stepien, has transferred to Blizzard. Maybe we'll see more of The Witcher 3's vast and amazing world storytelling brought into World of Warcraft. Or a new project we don't even know about. And lastly, there was a Q&A on January 24th with a lot of information about the future of the game, like the Heart of Azeroth changes, the Coltiran racials, and more. But one of the coolest things that has this gnome excited is that Blizzard is looking at letting you put all 50 characters on your account into one server. The hamsters that run the servers will have to be working double time. I wonder how many steps they get on their Fitbits each day. Well, this gnome has reached the end of the news treadmill. Until next time, be awesome. Whiplash MTB in the Wowhead comments is correct. WoW is going to get a lot of people resubscribing who said that they'd only resub when pigs fly.
This show is brought to you by Dragon Powered Studio. Find more at dragonpoweredstudio.com.